Hi everybody, this is MaDonna from Mad Bees Quilt and Sew, and we are starting our next series of Making It with MaDonna on Mondays, or however we say that, but it's our next series of those. So it's kind of a sew along, it's kind of a you can watch and just hopefully pick up some tips and tricks from me, but I have picked a pattern that I think is a little bit of a challenge for some of us, even for me, because it's going to work with some half square triangles and some piecing of smaller pieces, which is good. We need to do those things. So the pattern that I've chosen for next time is called Vintage December. It is an Amanda Niederhauser pattern. In the cover here, they show it as kind of a Christmas quilt because they're calling it actually Vintage December. But we're going to change it up a little bit. It's a nice small size quilt. It's a 34 by 34 inch. So nothing super cumbersome and not tons of fabric, but a good way to work on technique. So that's the pattern we're going to work with. I went out on the floor and looked for some things that can work with this. So the pattern takes as one of the fabric requirements as a charm pack and then some yard goods. So I picked out 3 different charm packs, very different ones. One of them is the Bonnie and Camille group. And in there, you've got the contrast of some really good darks, some lights, a little bit of pinks and oranges and reds. So you would be able to use like the darks right here where they've done that in the blues. Or you could go ahead and use the reds in there. And we'll play with that as we start to work with them. In the Prairie Days, this is a brand new Moda group also. This one is a red, white, and blue collection, and this would be really fun in that. We've got some little prints, so really cute. And these are going to be cut into quarter squares, so they're going to be small to be able to be worked with. And then the one that I decided I'm going to do is Timber. I think that this will work out really nicely in a guy-looking quilt because it is still very geometric even though it has that circular motion to it. And this, if you look at the side of it, you can see we've got blacks and greens and golds. And again, we've got some small prints. We've got some fishies in there, some words. I love the dark green little plaid. So those are the fabrics that I'm going to work with, okay? So that gives us 3 different styles. But definitely this pattern, I think, will lend itself to any of those. So in your fabric requirements, according to the pattern, you're going to need a charm pack and then 3/4 of a yard of solid white fabric for your piecing. And then it's saying a pink border. So I haven't found what that's going to be yet, but that can come. The Bonnie and Camille and the Patriotic, we do have supporting fabrics for those. So you'll be able to get something to work with either one of those. I just haven't figured mine out yet. We have yard goods of this too, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of those to go with it. I think that the plaid would be really sharp out there, but I haven't made up my mind yet. Don't lock me into that. So a couple of tools that I think that you'll need besides your normal cutting tools, okay? So normally you have your rotary cutters, your mats, your rulers, your sewing machine, basic thread, seam ripper, pins, those kind of things. A couple of things that you might want to add to your list are a sew line pencil, because we will be doing half square triangles, and this marks really nice and fine. The square up trimming triangle ruler, and I will show you how to use this in class, because we will be cutting our blocks down to 4.5 inches. And then the last one is the Quilter Select 3-inch wide ruler. This comes in both a 12-inch and an 18-inch. And the nice thing about that is we're going to be cutting some of these to 2.5. It's nice to have a ruler that's small enough that your pieces go underneath there and you can cut accurately. So we've got those 3 things. So those are kind of the tools extras. Not necessary, but extras if you want to try those. So that's what I'm showing there. So we are going to start next week, Monday, actually cutting. And we'll go through some cutting rules, and that'll be next week. We're going to skip a week then, and we'll be back in February to get you going and keep you sewing. So you actually get 2 weeks to cut, bonus days. I'm going to be away, so that's why we're skipping one. But I'm going to use the timber line. I'm going to get my fabric prepped for you guys, and then I'm going to go over cutting with you in class. I want to show you something that's, yes.
For those who don't know what Making It Monday is, though, let's explain what that is.
Okay, so Making It Monday is kind of a sew along with more education. So I take this very much step by step. A lot of sew-alongs, they'll show you a block really quickly, and then they're on to, and you meet up next Monday, okay? This is something where I'm gonna actually go through, and next week I'm gonna do cutting. I'm gonna get my big piece of this, the half yard or whatever it said of this, and we're gonna cut together. And I'm gonna spend the whole time cutting with you, and we'll be on for about 30 minutes. And then that way you'll have it all cut, if you cut with me, all cut and ready to go for the next class. We will do the entire process. I am going to do all the piecing. I'm going to do the quilting. We're going to do the binding. We will do it all. And we'll talk about how and why we're doing it. And it happens on Mondays because we figured that was a good afternoon day. But you can watch it anytime you want. So if your Monday afternoons are busy, just hit yourself a reminder to watch it on Tuesdays when you've got time. Make sense?
Yep. So it'll be on Facebook Live and then later posted to YouTube as well.
Correct. Facebook and YouTube. Perfect. Okay, so that's Mondays, and it's the Vintage December pattern from Amanda Niederhaus. Her business name is Jedi Craft Girl. So we haven't even told her we're doing this one. It's really fun. So join in, watch it, give us a thumbs up on Facebook because people really do enjoy working on this. Okay, so then the next thing I want to just briefly go over is the quilt that's hanging behind me. This is a new project in store, and it is called the Intro to Panel Play. So the center portion is a panel that then has had a little border put on it and these cute little houses on it. Every month there's a new seasonal small quilt wall hanging that Karen will be giving you instruction on. How to work with panels, how to come up with the right size proportions around the panels. Lots of great information. So join her. The first one for these is going to be on January 29th, and it is a longer class. It's from 10 till 2. So January 29th, 10 to 2 with Karen for the Intro to Panel Play. So
we'll have kits for that one.
yes,
and
that one is a kit.
Yeah, and that one is an in-person class, so that one will not be on Facebook.
Correct. Okay, excellent. Today is Monday, so I will see you tomorrow for Comments Sold. We'll be on at 5:15-ish. And other than that, everybody have a great afternoon. I will see you soon. Bye now.